I just want to make sure I got both of y'all. I know I got y'all there. Make sure I got y'all here. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. I'm sitting up here with these people, nobody dancing with me. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Now, Mecca, you say boom, boom, boom. I'm just joking. This Steve Copeland, y'all, from the Couch Conversation. I got Mecca with me today, y'all. I finally was able to steal her. Got my girl coming out. And I'm really proud of Mecca. She's, be honest, it just hit me. She's like a mini me, but she's a female. So y'all know, a lot of people don't like me. I'm considered as the most hated man in Baltimore City. Thank you. What?
I am the most hated person in the
building. You can't take my title.
I already got that.
Well, okay. That's what Lady J was telling me. People said I'm the most hated. She said, you are the most hated man in Baltimore City. And the first thing I thought about was Maxwell Smart. I was like, and loving it. Because I figured they won't bother me, right? Because what we do, the stuff we do. I figured they won't call and say, Steve, can you come over there? I'm like, if they hate me, don't ask me to do nothing. Right. That's where my mind went. And then Steve Blanchard, right? I was on his show to talk about me and what I do, and he called me the most controversial man in Baltimore City. That. And I loved it because it showed me, in a sense, y'all know I'm for real. That's serious. Y'all know I don't play. Yep. And this is what I love about Mecca. She's like a mini me. I can stand on the side. You know, she about this tall. I'm up here. And she be like, and I go, See? Now, I want to introduce y'all to Mecca. And I'm proud of her. She's running for, what district you running for?
It was 46.
She's running for the 46th district. Come on. Wow. Is it delegate?
Yes, it was.
Was? Mm-hmm. Oh, so, okay. So I think that was the primary. Was that the primary? What's the
I won the primary. I was nominated, but there was a technicality. Oh. Where we will not discuss that right now.
But it's always a technicality.
Do she know the Couch Conversation is about the truth and nothing but the truth?
Okay, like I said, it's always a technicality when it comes to the hood.
So since Mecca don't want to
people that don't want to sit there, can I say what I want to say?
Say what you got. You have to
say. And just the ones that don't want to kiss ass.
See, that's basically that's us.
Basically,
that's us, and that's why I said
don't want to kiss ass.
That's why she's a mini me, and I'm gonna tell you, even though she's a Muslim and she love Allah, did I say it right?
Yes.
Even though she's a Muslim and she love Allah, I seen her take that thing off her jacket because she can't take that off. But I seen her like punch a few people around, and I was like, girl, what is wrong with you? I ain't gay, y'all, but that day I was like a white woman. Come on, Mecca. I'm telling you, I'm just so happy she's here. And I wanted that because I was going to get her anyway. But I wanted to come out and share some of what she's doing around Baltimore City. And she's a beast, y'all. She's a beast. And this is Mecca right here. Talk to her, Mecca.
Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings, everyone. How are you?
TT says,
"What you don't want to talk about that right now."
What's Sikkim Salam? I'm not doing that because I'm not doing that because it sounds like salmon and cheese. I am so sorry, my Muslim brothers. I'm not Muslim.
We still brothers, no matter what.
But we still family. I love y'all because I even though I love Jesus Christ, right? I follow Jesus Christ. But I know we all follow the same God. I know it. It's only one.
That's right.
It's only one.
One with many names.
And I'll be trying to tell them Christian people that, okay, even though the Bible says there's only one way to get to the Father, that's because we study the Holy Bible and it tells us. But however he deal with his other people, not to say he don't have that relation, they don't have that relationship with him. Now, mind y'all, I didn't understand this. So I'm sorry.
I still don't understand it. I just read it. I read it where I get my understanding.
Right. When I say I don't understand how people in the box. I'm gonna just say they in the box, and we understand because you read in Bible that in order to get to the Father, that's what the Bible says.
Right.
You have to go through the Son. Now that's what the Bible said. Now what do you read?
Well, I read the Quran.
Now see, she read the Quran. So God, that's how God talked with her.
In Arabic.
Yeah, and thank you, T. God dang, T. And Arabic, they teaching me something.
But he teaches me in a whole different way what I understand.
Well, what how you teaching you?
I understand. I'm like God. I'm a king like he.
Yeah.
I'm a child of his.
So
I follow what he did.
I was telling somebody the other day, right? And Mecca, you got to jump in. I was telling somebody the other day, I said, God is his word. And the word is God. God is his word. And the word is God. So if I call you a bitch, ain't that's God?
God.
Ain't that
Stop
his word?
a lie.
Mecca,
Chop ass nigga that's
hey,
God.
no. I was just being smart with that one, right? Because I'm like, well, God is his word.
And he put the
So
word.
yeah, it's the word. And somebody, Barbie was sitting here the other day, and she was like, "The devil is a lie."
That's true.
He is a lie. And I kind of follow his ways. What I want to do, but I learned when I got older that wasn't what that was.
Right.
And that's where knowledge, wisdom, and understanding comes into play. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I acted like a child. But when I became a man, I put away my childish ways.
What was
Sometimes us people gotta bow down and actually
it means
understand
peace and
what the word is.
blessings.
Okay. We're not going to really. That's not a topic. We just want to talk, y'all. We just want to have fun. I do want Mecca to talk about some of the stuff she's doing, and I try to surround myself with like-minded people. And I'm just saying this towards you, Mecca. I like surrounding myself with people that shares the same love and compassion when it comes to helping out people in the city. That's where I'm at. Even though she's a Republican, right? And I know y'all think Republicans and this Democratic thing and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and Republicans and Democrats do the same thing. They lie like crazy.
Right. But now the reason why I'm saying that,
Lie like crazy.
but the reason why I'm saying that,
Some do.
because
Not this one.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because her heart, and I know her heart
Not this
is
one.
actually for the people.
Yes,
And
indeed.
she works on solutions like me, even though she understands the side of politics. So, but with her, she ghetto, she in the street.
Something they don't do.
And the thing is about it, you'll never know where you're going to see me. You can see me walking through the neighborhood. You can see me on the subway. You can see me on a bus. I may be downtown. I could be anywhere. And how I associate with the community is just by having a conversation with them as we're doing right now.
Yeah, right.
I'm not walking around with a big old campaign shirt saying I'm running for this. I just have a conversation with you. I want to find out what the needs of the people are. What can we do to make things better? How can we help and what's good for the best interest of the people? Not for political gain, not for financial gain, not for personal gain, but actually for the people. That's it.
And do not make her go into her Malcolm X mode.
I can go the same way.
I was thinking about what's that other minister name? Like
Farrakhan.
not Farrakhan, that's my boy. At one point, I didn't really feel him. But as time started going on, and see, my mind is open now. And I begin to see he's real. He's real, he's deep. And I begin to see that. And I love it. And I'm gonna tell you something, Mecca, that I love most about him. I fight for the democracy of our people.
That's it.
And this homicides and all of that, right? We know that the white man killing off a lot of our people. That's been set up.
Yeah.
They're not killing them up as much now. It's us that's doing it, so they backed up.
But yes, and with us,
Because they ain't gotta do nothing. They allow us to do it.
Yeah.
exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I mean,
Women.
my lifetime, I did it because of a white man. I did what I did, hustle, survived out the street because hustling, but yet I still did the, I be down my own people.
Right. And
it's now that as I got older, it's like I see it.
Right. And see, I have to agree with a video I saw on Facebook maybe about a week ago. The brothers from the Nation of Islam, they put a song out. So basically at the end of the song, it was talking about how Minister Farrakhan stated that there is a conspiracy from the highest levels of government to bring the National Guard into urban communities. And that way, and then they're going to destroy us. And the meaning behind that is, look at what's going on in Baltimore City. Look at what's going on in all the urban communities throughout the country or across the country. Our political, our elected officials or our political officials, they seem to be just having their legs crossed and their hands just like this, and they're not doing anything about it. Well, why is it? Is that because because you have the power and authority to stop this right now. You can solve the problem because you have the power and authority to fix the problem, but you refuse to do it. Yet you want the vote every 2 to 4 or 6 years.
Now I'm gonna share this.
So apparently, I apologize.
No, because it's more about what we do. Like I said, she's real. She's real. And she comes with solutions. So because you're real and you come with solutions, you're never gonna get in.
Of course.
You know.
That's how it is. They either discredit you, make it seem like that you're crazy, and if that's not the case, then you get locked up. Or to get you out in technicality, as far as financially, is always a reason or excuse why, if you're actually for the people, that you cannot get in office because you're going to interrupt the status quo. It's not going to be the same quid pro quo. Things are actually going to change because we've had these same problems in Baltimore City for decades and decades and decades, and yet we keep doing the same thing with the definition of insanity, voting the same type of people in and expecting a different result. It doesn't matter the political party. If you don't have a heart for the people and you're not trying to bring any change to Baltimore City, the state of Maryland, or the country, you should not be in office. Right. I don't care who you are and what political party you belong to.
They asked me to run for this district delegacy and the House of Delegates. And I said, okay, I'll run. And I don't want to badmouth Chris and them, right? Because they supposed to came and got me for me to go sign the papers and stuff. They never came and got me. Them and Tom. I'm waiting.
They found somebody. They found somebody that they would kiss their ass.
But see, the thing is, it's 3 delegate seats and 1 Senate seat.
Right.
And this is the problem with our people. We lack knowledge when it comes to politics and law and the Constitution and civics and government. So
that's why I don't vote.
But that's the problem. That is exactly what the problem. Someone told me, and I'm not going to mention no names, but I had already put it out there.
Well, I kind of do. That's what the couch conversation is about. But if you don't want to, that's fine.
But they mentioned the fact that they don't listen to people that don't vote, and that you're not going to be, if you're not a registered voter, what's the point of listening to you? The fact of the matter is, if you're a registered voter or not, if you are, if you didn't vote or not, it doesn't matter. You are the representative of the people, whether you're Democrat or you're Republican. Right. Once you get in that seat, you represent everybody. So if a constituent comes to you and say, I have a problem, then you are to help them. And actually, the ones that's running need to act like they're these delegates and senators right now. But back to the House of Delegates, what our people don't seem to understand is how government works. And the fact of our government officials, and I'm ready to go in on the Dems, because they take advantage. They take advantage of the fact of the ignorance of our people. And as a result of that, we continue to be slaves to them. And I don't mean physical slaves and chains, I mean mental slaves, because as long as they can control us with the lack of knowledge, then they can continue to do what they want to us. They can continue to urinate on us and tell us that it's raining, or give us the red apple from Snow White.
Wait a minute. You did not
Yeah, she did.
The Snow White.
Yeah, she
Red
did.
apple from Snow White. You daggone Skippy.
That's the white people.
Huh?
It's white people.
No,
No,
Yeah, I'm
the
sorry.
red apple
No.
from Snow
I-
White.
it's
The
old
witch.
Yeah.
The witch they gave the red apple.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And see
Let me,
what
let me share this with you, Mecca. I will never, ever vote again.
and
I
that's
would
what
never
they
vote.
want you to do.
No. This I'm gonna tell you why. I will never ever vote again. The reason why, because I do the work that they supposed to do, and they cannot do it. So now check this out. If the Democrats create a bill that hurt our inner city people, I'm coming for your ass.
But
If the Republicans create a bill that will hurt our people, I'm coming for your ass. So I'm right here. And the goal is I want y'all to, I found out for me, be honest with you, you do the footwork. When I say you do the footwork, you go out and you get ready to start like with me, with the program for children.
right.
They can't do that. They can't touch that. So I learned that if I had ran and if I had won, Ray Bly told me, he said, Steve, you know you ain't gonna be able to keep doing strengthening the community. I'm like, huh? Because that's what we do. We do the work.
Right.
So now I wanted to do it. I know I'm gonna be honest. On the Republican Party, I knew I wasn't gonna win, but I was gonna give them a run for their money because I'm a Republican. That's my. I'll switch from Democrat to Republican.
So
but no,
did
look,
I.
hold on. Let me finish this right, because this once I seen it, and I realized a lot of times when you see Brandon Scott and them over there with these big developers and all of that, they ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
That's right.
They just came out to support it, but it looks like they doing the work for the city.
That's right.
I realized they can't do that. That's why me with my business, we do groundwork. We do the work that it seemed like they should do, but this is what they do. They will create a bill to help, but it's the people that has to come and fight to get that bill in. But we got to do the footwork for them to get it done. So I realized it's just talk with them. Not being smart is just talk. And we actually do the work. That's why I'm proud of you, because we sitting down, a couple of weeks ago, I was telling her about the teen talk show. She wants to start this. We trying to find a place. That's what it is. We trying to find a place where we can get everything done in one spot. We can get the money rolling. So we're looking for sponsors, business partners, and investors, because we definitely need a building to do everything we want to do in there, mainly with our children. We want to help whatever issues that's going on in Baltimore City. Our goal is to come in with the solution. So when they see Steve Copeland come, right, that big mouth crazy dude, when they see Steve Copeland come, Brandon Scott and be like, oh shit, there goes Steve, lock the door. I know they do it.
I got a question.
Okay.
As a mayor, how can you run the city from your house?
See what I'm saying?
How can you run the city from your house? Only time we see you was on the news when in the neighborhood somebody got shot.
Yeah.
I was looking at Brandon Scott the other day, right? And Mackenzie was saying something to him. He leaned on Mackenzie's ass. I said, Brandon Scott, don't you be messing with Kenzie. What is your problem? Because Kenzie asked him the truth. Did she ask him the truth?
Yes, she does.
And a lot of times them suckers avoid the truth.
Of course.
I was asked to come up to the 6th district of Park Heights because that woman, councilwoman, light skin, Sharon Middleton, will not come out. Your butt should have been right there. And I said that when I was there. That's your district. You should have had your, wait a minute, red apple, white something. No, I don't know. I'm just saying. No, but it was embarrassing. But guess what? When Fox 45 News give town hall meetings, why the Democrats don't come? I don't.
We don't know where it's at.
They because number one, it may not be that you don't know the location. Number two, again, when it comes to the citizens, when it comes to bills, we have to be more informed.
Right.
See, they focus
Right.
on this is the gubernatorial election,
Mhm.
but see, why is it important? Because this is the midterm election. This is the time when we're switching out our congressional representatives and our legislators. It's not for a time for city council, that's for another 2 years. But the mere fact is, most people don't know that the Congress and the state delegates and the state senators and the city council, they're the lawmakers of the legislative branch of government. So
Right.
whatever laws that they create impact the people indirectly
That's
or
it.
directly.
That's it.
And
That's
so
it.
they do not allow,
That's
I
it.
don't want to say do not allow, but they bank on the ignorance of
Yeah.
people, especially within the Afro-American community.
Yeah, right.
And as long as they can continue to do that, they can, as I said, continue to keep control of us, over us, and then we will be slave to the things that they don't do. But yet they come and ask for the vote every 2 to 4
Right.
years.
Now, please listen, y'all, because Mecca, that was something kind of like hard for me. When I found out some years ago, right, that I was fighting actually the Democrats to do the right things.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not really into politics. I really don't understand certain things. I did not know I was fighting against the people that's already been elected to take care of the people.
Yep.
Be honest, I thought I was fighting against
But they don't
Republicans.
take care of people.
That's it. That's it. So when I found out personally, me, about 3 or 4 years ago, and I realized they not helping, and they letting our people just die off and kill themselves. They didn't rally them together, so they didn't gave them the product. My nephew the other day, and he's 52 years old. He said 12-year-olds are carrying guns. He said, I think they're getting them out the bubblegum machine. I said, God dang it, I said the same things. Because y'all making it so easy for them to get stuff so they can kill each other off.
Yes, done by design. Because if you kill off the man and you kill off the next generation, what do you have?
Yep.
And then if you just disseminate the family unit, what do you have?
And
And
that's,
you attack the youth.
Yep.
And if you go after the youth, then you have them under your control. And then things will continue to be the same thing. You capitalize off of crime.
that's what
You
yeah,
capitalize off of ignorance.
Yeah. Me and Dante cousin, Dante Barksdale, his cousin called me. I didn't know who he was, but we was talking about them container houses for the homeless and less fortunate people,
Mhm.
helping them get their own place. Well, anyway, he started saying certain things, and I'm from the street, so he went into. Well, how did he call his name? Something Barksdale, like Tony, or you gave
Taurus?
him shit.
Antonio.
Yeah, he gave him another name, Barksdale, the one that got killed. But anyway, I'm trying to get his first name right. Right, I'm trying to get his first name. So I wanted to make sure this was the person. I said, bro, when he got killed, that broke my heart because number one, he fights for the city the way I try to fight for the city. And then when he got killed, the first thing that hit me, that could have been me. Because I know we do the same with the trying to turn Baltimore around. I'm gonna just say that, right? And I said, man, it broke my heart because I know for a fact, Mecca, we do stuff totally different, which is real. And I put my life on the line every day when I come on here, when I talk about certain issues, because they don't want people to know.
Right.
Like Mecca, she's trying to feed you. And I'm gonna share this with you too, because this is what I try to do. Communities United of Baltimore, Maryland, fight for the democracy of Black people. They fight for fair houses, fair wages.
Right.
They fight for your civil rights, your equal rights, your constitutional rights. I'm trying to get Black people to come aboard. Mecca saying it because you got to stand up and fight for what you want.
Right, but you have to know how to be able to fight for what you want first.
And then look, this is what I begin to understand about the amendments too, because I'm listening to other people. Even though I'm gonna just say the white boys wrote it, right? You know, it was a couple of Black guys there too, with money
so.
and all that. Yeah, it was. Come on, because we had Black slave owners. So
No, we understand that, but they was the background. All they would do was the
let
money.
me just say this. That was my thought. I was just hoping that, but that it was some Black guys sitting right there. But anyway, the word I'm trying to get to is ratified. So the amendments is like written in stone. but you can change the words. And that's what I started learning. So whatever we fight for, when it comes to the constitutional rights, or when it comes to the amendments to cater more to the Black people, we gotta fight and make them change it. But now Mecca said it. You gotta understand basically the amendments and what you're fighting for. But if it's 500 of us going to DC to do a rally or a protest, and it's 100 Black people and 400 whites, it's not looking good. Why not 400 Blacks and maybe 100 whites? Because we got to stand up and fight. And since I've been in this battle, I've been noticing more white people actually stand beside us. They could be fake if only, I'm just saying, I don't know. But they make it look good. But I learned in that process, Mecca, that if we do not, I'm talking about the brown skinned man or woman, stand up and fight for the changes we want. It's like you gotta demand your space. I'm human just like you. You're no better than me. Fix that right there, okay? And then see what I do. Y'all see that look I gave? Fix that right there, okay? First thing y'all over there saying, he crazy, look at him.
Yeah.
Because you scared.
No,
You scared.
we all know they ain't gonna fix it.
Yeah. But we gotta fight. And that's what I realized. With the same things Mecca saying. I realized we gotta fight.
For some reason, they voted in out of town government. O'Malley from New York. Why would he vote?
Oh, Westmore, that's running for governor. And I grew up in Baltimore City. Liar.
Know what the city going to do.
Well, I'm
instead of fixing the city, O'Malley said they put cameras.
I'm gonna tell y'all this.
Cameras up.
Mecca tricked me. Told me to come down to the rally. It was supposed to be something about children, right? So I come down to the rally. No more West, no more. I'm like, what? And then they gave me a sign. And I did like this. No more West. I was just doing, I don't give a hell about Westmore. Let me make that clear.
It was a play on words.
Right. I did right.
Being more.
Right.
And the rally was a no more rally. But since your name is Westmore, then we might as well include him in there too. Right. The reason being is because how can we cannot continue to trust our elected officials or those that seeking office. Because if you lie about a small thing is where you grew up at, how can we trust you to be in office? That shows your integrity right there. Then on top of that, you did not, I repeat, did not compensate neither the slain officer's family or the Moore family when you wrote the book. So again, that goes down to integrity. So how can the people trust you to represent them, us, and govern over us as a whole state? And this, I mean, even though the state is a corporation, but that's a whole nother conversation.
You really want to open up that door, don't you?
But the mere fact is, if you lie about that and that your credibility and your integrity goes into play, then what makes us, as I said, be able to trust you to govern over us? Because we, the people, give them the power to govern over us when we cast our vote on that ballot for them. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Right. And they know this. And again, every 2, 4, 6 years, here we go, same stuff, different day. Or as Whitney Houston said, same script, different cast.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, Dan Cox, I like Dan Cox. And I'm gonna tell you why. You didn't go with us when we went out Cambridge, did you?
I didn't know about it.
Okay. What is his position now? What position? He's trying to go here, but what position is
he was a delegate? Dan
Cox in?
Delegate.
Okay. And the reason why I'm saying that, right? I was listening to the guy talking about how Dan Cox constituents, like the people he with, they don't really care for him. They don't really like him, or they argue together. And basically why? Because Dan Cox trying to get shit done for the people.
That's it.
And I caught that and said, a lot of y'all don't pay no attention.
And that's fine.
And this would made me say, darn, because of myself. When it's somebody that's doing the right things, it's other ones that's fighting you not for it to go. And I'm like, God darn it. And the guy, can't think his name, but I got a picture with him and I together. And a couple other people. Tall guy with whoever he was. I don't know if he's the governor of that area or whatever. But once he said that, that how him and the constituents, have it out and stuff, because Dan Cox is trying to come in with solutions and ways of doing stuff, and he didn't even have to say it. Once he said what he said, I knew what it was. And then not only that, what's more, I seen Pastor Hathaway walking with you. Kwaisi.
Where Kwaisi
We
been?
ain't gonna talk about that.
No. Where has Kwaisi and Fume been before Elijah Cummings died? Did you buy back?
Where you at now?
That too. But we had not seen you as a you were the NAACP president, and we're not. We already know how that went down. But the mere fact is, we did not see you prior. You may have popped up here and there, unless you were doing work behind the scenes, and there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes you got to move in silence to get things done. But at the same time, we have not seen you until before. I mean, we didn't see you before Elijah Cummings died, and the only reason, in my opinion, that you popped back up is because Elijah Cummings died. That's it. No evidence out about it.
But now let me finish. Let me finish it
down.
off, right? Kimberly, I'm gonna say personally got it more votes than him. If it really came down to it with everybody that supported her, but these people was out of town, so they couldn't vote for it here. But anyway, I know Kimberly had more votes than him.
You sure about that?
Because when I seen Kwaisi and they was running him, I don't care if she had 1 million and he had 1 vote. I knew they was gonna put him in.
Can I ask this
But
question?
I'm not finished yet. Let me say this. The only thing I wanted to say when I seen Kwaisi, and he walked past me because I'm in the county doing Kim thing out there, like Kim doing, trying to be pretty and all that stuff. He walked by me, right? I'm like, damn, I'm 50 something, almost 60, and I knew he got to be about 70. But I wanted to ask him, and I did. What kind of dye do you use? Because I know you old as shit, and you did.
I just want to ask one
That's
question.
what I'm saying. When I seen him, because it's a game. So you ain't been out here doing shit. You dyeing your hair so you still look young, compared to us. And I'm like, that was the only thing I wanted to say, because one thing I know, when they want puppets in, they put them in.
Right, monarchy.
They put them in.
Baltimore
I
City.
just got one question. When the last time you walked through the hood? You don't walk.
They don't walk through the hood.
You don't
Right.
walk
They don't
through
come
the
to the
hood.
Right.
They don't
Right.
come around Pennsylvania and Cumberland and all that. They don't.
All go to
Well,
Southwest Baltimore,
even-
Westport, Cherry Hill,
O'Malley-
Bay, any of those places.
O'Malley had the nerve when he was running for mayor to walk through the hood of Greenmount Avenue.
Did he walk by himself, or did he?
He
have
walked with his, he
protection?
walked with his protection, but yet they still sit there offer him a tester.
I don't blame him. We probably do something on the side.
He offered him a tester,
But that's
and I saw it for myself. The security didn't even say nothing. Didn't even lock him up.
I lived on Cloverland.
on both ends, though. The sad part about the situation is, young man, you should know who your mayor is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we already know that when you see white people in the hood, especially when it's high drug trafficking, you know they're not really in the hood most of the time just to be renters. They're not coming for one thing. I don't mean to be stereotypical, but this is quiet as it's kept. This is what we already know. We see them, we know what they hear for majority of the freaking time. So he just assumed that because he was a white man, that he was, a rich fiend, and that's what he was coming down for.
Who was that?
The young man, O'Malley. The young man that served O'Malley, he assumed that O'Malley was an upper class fiend, so he just naturally.
Somebody really tried to say
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was there.
They did. They really served Martin O'Malley.
I was coming out. I was coming out of a soup kitchen called Man House. And I saw it. And, I went to shake his hands, hear what he was trying to say when he was running. And the dude came and told him he had testers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Be honest with you. When I was hustling, I might have told him the same things. I might have told him, look, you can hit yourself here. Oh, damn, look at that man. O'Malley be like, I get out. No, I'm just joking.
But the mere fact of the matter is,
But yet you didn't arrest him.
I have
Right.
never
No
heard.
raid, no nothing.
Right. I was telling the police last night, right? Russian guy. He stood outside and we talked for a real long time. Cause this guy right here, but we talked for a real long time, right? And we out there laughing, we talk about stuff now. People hate when I come, sometimes the way I come. And I didn't really want to tell them because we called the police to come out for a situation, right? And I don't want to brag and boast, but it's like I didn't get the result from the police that I felt like I should have when I'm dialing 911. When you got somebody that's acting out of the norm and you feel a threat might come about, somebody might get hurt, your job is to eliminate that. And when I asked you to tell them move on, y'all told me no. So y'all left them there for stuff to still happen.
in the house.
In the house.
Well, because there was a situation that I had to deal with recently myself, and what they told me is that they cannot remove them out of the house, especially if they live there. Depends on the situation, but the police hands are tied. Now, in my case, it worked out. They talked to the individual and they got him to leave the house, and that was a safety issue. But we're not. But the police officers' hands are tied.
Mine's turned into a complete thug. His lip even like yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you expect if you are getting personally, if you are being personally sued? That means if this brother right here is an officer and he does anything to the left, the public can sue him. But yeah, why is that? And I don't mean sue just the police department. I mean personally sue you for whatever and take you and your family for everything that you got. And you know why that is? Because our legislators, our state delegates, some of them, and our state senators wrote the bill and passed it to cause them to have a civil suit directly against them as a result of this. So what do you expect the police to do? And then they complain about the police, and not all police are bad. You have some that are buttholes, but majority of them are here to protect and serve, or basically I
don't even know that no more.
Or basically protect the integrity of the public and businesses. But the mere fact of the matter is, they also have to deal with the consent decree. So with them having to deal with the consent decree, again, their hands are tied. And finally, after all this hatred and defund the police, and look where it has gotten us. It has caused crime to only increase even further, because if you're not going to sue me for something you say that I did, I don't care if I do have a body camera on. What they have a target on their back as a result of George Floyd. What that officer did to George Floyd, he was absolutely wrong. But that doesn't mean that you target all police officers because the actions of a few. It's like back in when Bill Clinton was running for office, and freaking Hillary Clinton said black men are predators. Well, you're not a predator. You're only a predator for those that want to oppress the people. That's about it.
Look, now listen to what she just said, right? The organization Communities United protests against the police to reduce their budget. I'm part of that organization, defund the police department. And I told them that. I said, now I see why they fighting, because y'all really don't do shit. And that's what I told them yesterday. And not being smart, I was so disappointed. Now I went down today to get a emergency petition. I'm showing this guy, when it comes to a program, you do not put the landlord-tenant thing. We can't go that way. I can't charge you rent like that. So I'm showing him everything with Maryland law. He's steady telling me with that. And I understand. But I'm like, I can do this and do that. You can tell him. If it seems like, if I'm telling you, and my biggest fear was I'm gone and they might start fighting. And I said, if one of them get killed, I'm coming for the commissioner ass and all of y'all. Because number one, I called you for a reason. And I know what y'all supposed to do and didn't do it. And they told them what was going on too. And that's her brother upstairs. That's what I'm trying to watch it.
And then on top of that, if the mere fact, if the police officers does not actually witness it, you have
Right,
to
that's
go
what
down
that
to
was they were saying.
500 Calvert Street. So then, and here comes the complaint. And see,
I went
two
to
things
Fed.
about Calvert Street. Number one, the police officer should investigate the matter prior to a arrest warrant being put out, because too many times and too often people will, as long as they have your name and your birthday, they can go down there and say you blew up the moon. If it sounds good enough, quote unquote, according to probable cause, then they're going to come arrest you, and then that directly can impact you and your family because you get locked up. So you have a job, you lose your job. How are you going to pay your bills if you're the main breadwinner? But two, on top of that, with Calvert Street, as it said that
Come over, son. Come over just a little
on
bit.
top
Yeah.
of that, with Calvert Street, the mere fact of the matter is, again, if the officer does not see it, they will send you to
Right.
Calvert Street for you to make a complaint, because you're just saying something, but now you have a record on it and it goes before the judge. And they deal with the judicial part of the government. So of course, what do you want them to do? Again,
I went today, right? Because I had went last night to 501 North Calvert Street. They couldn't do nothing.
what do you mean they couldn't do anything?
I got the paper in the car. They couldn't do nothing. Because I had to go over to like the renter's court. They couldn't do nothing. I'm like, what? So this what happened. The lady said, well, we can get you the emergency form papers to fill out.
Or regarding
And I felt like, I'm like, man, you can't get help for your people. It's always something in the way. So she gave me the paper. I filled the paper out. Went straight upstairs and talked to the judge. And I told him, I said, I work with people with mental illnesses and stuff. And there's certain people that's out there that we might have to get signed away. And everybody I talk to won't help them.
Did you ask the officer about an
Wait a minute.
emergency petition?
That's what he gave me. This is what the judge gave me. And he said, Mr. Copeland, anytime you have a problem, just come back. I said, thank you. That's what I needed. So they sending somebody to get him. He don't even know. And that's all I wanted for the people that say, like, most of my clients either had bipolar, schizophrenia, stuff like that, right? So they taking their medication. And they say in the therapy, they doing all this, the therapist, the psychiatrist, they saying, oh, I'm giving them the help that they need. They telling me that's what they get ready to send them away to. I already got a group, but my group not doing it. So right now I'm thinking about switching out. I told him, I said, I need my clients in therapy. Now I have to step outside of the mental health group that I refer my people to go downtown. Then they calling my phone like crazy. Why? When I told y'all I need them, I had to reach out to somebody else. But the judge told me this, and the reason why I'm saying this, y'all, because most of the people we deal with, if they're homeless or just stressed or depressed, some people might need to go somewhere and take medication. I got a psychiatrist that talked with this guy. They prescribed the medication. He stopped taking the medication because he said he don't like the way he feel. I'm trying to tell him, like, man, you're not the same guy I met long ago. And I'm watching him go downhill. And I'm calling people, y'all gotta help them. You gotta help him. No fucking body wanna help. I told the police last night, I said, I quit. I'm looking at these two houses. I said, I'm tired. Because all of y'all come up with certain things, right? And I understand you trying to obey the law. Don't get that wrong. And I had to apologize to them because y'all know I'm compassionate. And when you come at me and I know what you can do, and I'm showing you the difference between a tenant and a client. And y'all going to tell me it's more like they still going on the landlord-tenant thing. I said, you can't come to me like that because I'm only telling you how it works for our type of program. But then I had to shut up. So I said, let me go do what they say do. The ladies told me one paper that I had. I ain't worried about the past stuff. I told him I'm not worried about that. He hadn't paid in 3 months. I'm not worried about that. Right. So my thing is more like this. The money ain't, you got me, but I want him to learn how to manage this. And some people, you know, with me, I'm in recovery, so I know how to go inside sometimes and say, all right, Steve, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. So I do self-evaluation. Point of me getting mental health. And then I feel like now, if I tell you my clients need this and my clients need that, it means they fell into a state. I done had several people do that, of a mania.